My Lords, the Transforming Rehabilitation consultation by my department closed on the 22nd of February, and we are now considering our response. We have proposed opening up the market for rehabilitation services to a more diverse range of providers, but the public sector will retain ultimate responsibility for public protection and will manage directly those offenders who pose the highest risk of serious harm to the public.
My Lords, I thank the Noble Lord the Minister for that reply. Last week, the Justice Secretary appeared before the Justice Select Committee in another place and said, "We have a duty to supervise offenders in a consistent way, and I want to make the probation world more independent of government and the big bureaucratic documents that tell them how to do their job." For 100 years, until recently dissolved by its subordination to prisons, probation, in partnership with the police and the courts, was responsible for the consistent supervision of offenders, community-sentenced offenders, independent of such interference. And therefore, can the Noble Lord the Minister tell the House how the Justice Secretary's proposed division of responsibility for the supervision of different types of offender between probation and an unknown number of untried private and voluntary sector organisations will better honour his duty of consistency?
I hear the growl from the benches opposite. It's interesting that we're using the 2007 Act to carry through these reforms of probation, so they're not exactly original in terms of how we should develop these matters. But I don't fully take the point that the Noble Lord has made about going into the unknown. The fact is, as again those opposite who have had concerns over the or dealings with these matters know, the voluntary sector and the private sector have been involved in offender management for a very, very long time. And what we are trying to do within a very tight budget is to see if we can reform the probation service and the dealings with offenders to bring in the best of what's outside. And it's very interesting in finding that good ideas on offender management is not contained simply to the probation service. We think we can give it a reorganisation which relieves, as I said in my retrieves, as I said in my reply, the public sector's ultimate responsibility for public protection, but also making use of the wide variance of experience and expertise that exists in this area.
My Lords, I've listened carefully to the answers given by the Noble Lord the Minister, and he will be aware that one of the most important things with the Probation Service is that there is public confidence in the work that they do. And part of that public confidence comes from the transparency and having information about the work they do, so understanding what works and what is most effective. I know that in his first answer he said the public sector has the ultimate responsibility. Does that mean that all the services, even those outsourced to private companies by the government, will still be subject to freedom of information?
That's one from left field. I will have to check on that and write to her. But as she knows, my inclinations are that as far as possible that freedom of information should extend to all work that's conducted by the private sector or is covered by the contractual agreement between the public sector and the private sector that would allow access to information. But I understand the points you're making, and I will write and make it available to the House.
My Lords, the Probation Service is widely admired for its professionalism and general excellence. What ideas does the government have to make sure that we not only don't lose those, but indeed capitalise on them?
My Lords, at no stage, either at this dispatch box, in private meetings or in meetings elsewhere, have I ever said anything other than I'm in awe of the work that our probation officers do. And this will remain a matter of concern, that we get the balance right between our public probation service and the new ideas, the new initiatives, the new ways of doing things that we hope this rehabilitation revolution will bring about. But I personally hope that one of the outcomes of this rehabilitation revolution will be a probation service that is enhanced in public respect and public confidence. Indeed, I would look to the day when we have a chartered institute of probation with the same kind of professional status as other professions.
My Lords, the Noble Lord the Minister speaks of a new way of doing things. Is it not the case that when legislation was passing through Parliament, we were told that certain bonuses of a financial nature would be paid to those supervising the system and based upon success? My question is, will there be an aliquot penalty in the case of failure? And in the case of success, what will be the indices of performance in respect of which success will be judged, and at what level?
My Lords, yes, the part of the exercise is what is roughly called payment by results, and that is that those who take on part of these take on these undertakings, if they manage to achieve a rehabilitation, which means not reoffending within a specific time. And part of the problems that we face is that nearly half of offenders leaving prison reoffend within 1 year, that we hope that the system will incentivise those providing services to think creatively about rehabilitation. Because the worst thing for victims and for the taxpayer is this revolving door which successive administrations are faced with, and which I believe the rehabilitation proposals we're bringing gives us a real chance of breaking into.